Hello, friends. My name is Teacher Evelyn, and I normally go live at 9:30. I'm going live at 8:45, and there's a good reason. Heather is here, Quirky Teacher. Today is Thursday. She asked if Danny is still unable to go live today. To my knowledge, Danny is up and running with her internet, but she wasn't interested in going live today. Today is Thursday. I normally go live today. I feel an obligation to do that for you guys, but I'm sure I will disappoint some people because I'm not going live at 9:30 and I'm not going to stay live for very long. This week is a crazy weather week. We need to be praying for teachers all over the place. There are teachers who are getting hit by tornadoes, thunderstorms. It's crazy. Even in China, there has been crazy storms, and a mailman died in Beijing, and there was a video of people on bicycles trying to get home and getting hit by tree limbs because of the wind and everything, and so crazy. I live in Kansas City, Kansas, which is just minutes away from Kansas City, Missouri, which is a few hours away from Joplin, Missouri. I think it's 3 hours away. And Joplin, 8 years ago today, was just completely destroyed by a tornado. Like the whole city was destroyed by a tornado. So they've rebuilt over time, and Joplin, not Joplin itself, but the surrounding cities were hit by several tornadoes yesterday. So praying for those teachers and for those people involved. I don't know if there's any fatalities, but it sounded like there might be some. So praying for those people who possibly lost their homes or maybe even loved ones. Always scary situations. And that's not far from me, guys. That's kind of terrifying. There's also teachers in Oklahoma that are dealing with tornadoes and thunderstorms. Here personally in Kansas City, we had thunderstorms and flash flooding. We did not have any tornado sirens or tornadoes like going through, which is fortunate for me because my basement has like spiders and no furniture and nothing set up, and I've got 3 little kids, so I don't really want to take them all down there for fear of spider bites. Our basement is basically just where we keep like our bicycles and lawnmower, if you know what I mean. It's just kind of like like the kiddie pool goes down there when it's not summertime, and so we like have an extra washer and dryer down there that one of them's broken and stuff like that. So our basement's not really set up. I would have to like bring my kids down, bring my cat down, and then try to bring some sort of activity to keep my kids occupied and probably something for us to sit on, and that would be a nightmare. So I should probably like in advance put some stuff down in our basement. The last time that there was like an actual tornado situation with sirens and everything, I was home alone with my oldest. My oldest daughter was 1.5. My second daughter was an infant. And so I remember having to take them downstairs, and I brought like a little chair for my little one to sit on, and like a little I think I brought a playpen downstairs for my baby or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah. Whew. So anyway, scary stuff. But that was a long time ago. And thank God it just passed through and didn't hurt us at all. So this week, weather has been crazy in my area. So for example, and I am so thankful for friends in Kansas City who invite me on play dates because my kids and I need to get out of the house sometimes. And they're also looking at the weather and being like, oh, the weather is great this day. So on Monday, it was like a rare good weather day because we've been having like extremely hot weather or like stormy and rainy. And so Monday was that way. So the rain started at 3 p.m. and we knew that thanks to our handy dandy cell phones, right? And so we went to the zoo. We met up like a little after 11 a.m. My friend, she's got 2 little girls that are just a little younger than my 2 girls. And so I went with my 3 kids. She went with her 2 kids, and we went to the zoo and we had a great time. Then on Tuesday, it was thunderstorms and flooding. And then on Wednesday, it was thunderstorms and raining. And then today is going to be gorgeous. And another friend of mine, Heather, she has 2 little girls. One of them is the age of my oldest, and one of them is the age of my youngest. So she's got a 4.5-year-old and a baby, like a 1-year-old. And so, hey, Kim Turner, thanks for joining the party. I'm doing this early, and I have to cut off early because, so my friend Heather, she invited us to the other zoo, which is called Deanna Rose Farmstead. It's a petting zoo, but we're actually not going to go into the little petting area because, number one, my kids are terrified of animals. Like, it's like little goats and stuff. They're the height where the goats are their height. So if they have like food or something, goats are going to attack them. And me with 3 kids, they would be freaking out. Yesterday, they screamed bloody murder because they saw a little puppy. Like, my kids, they like our cat and they liked our rabbit before our rabbit passed. But it has to be an animal that they know and are familiar with. And in a good way, that's a positive instinct. It's a good thing that they don't just go up to random dogs and animals. But we're not going to go in the petting zoo area. We'll just say hi to the animals from the outside. And the other thing is, when I was a kid, I loved the petting zoo and everything. But as a mom, I just think of germs. Like, you're putting this food and then this like goat is like eating out of your hand and you've got like slobber. I'm not about that life. Like, I am by no means a germaphobe, but that's disgusting. Sorry. So when my kids are a little bit older, maybe I'll let them do that and we'll bring some hand sanitizer or something. But we're going to the petting zoo today. So we're not going to do the petting part, but we're going to, they have like peacocks and rabbits and different kinds of animals. Like, I think they have like an area where there's like butterflies sometimes, and there's like I'll make a video. I don't remember what else there because it's been a couple of years since I went. So anyway, so Heather and Kim are here. Thank you. So I'm actually going to get going pretty soon because that friend of mine, she invited us because she's going with a couple other of her friends. And so they're meeting at 10:30 a.m. and it's a 30-minute drive for me. And I've got 3 kids to get ready. So that's why I went ahead and did the live this morning, but did it early. I wanted to tell you guys, I finally got to use this in class today. It was my first Egypt class since getting the headdress. So that was pretty cool. I was like, I'm about to teach an Egypt class. Where's the headdress? And I grabbed it before class. So anyway, that was fun. Okay, I'm going to read what you guys are saying. Heather says, oh man, finals. I'm good. Grateful not affected by last night's storms. There are a ton of trees down in our area, over 9,000 without electricity. Oh my goodness. A couple days ago, someone from Kansas City, my city, posted in the VIP Kid KC group, which is Kansas City. She posted that she was out of electricity during class time, so that stunk. Yeah. Kim Turner says, I've been stuck in Egypt all week. So you've been doing the Egypt unit a lot, or you're literally in Egypt? I think just the Egypt unit, right? I'm so glad you weren't affected. He's 3rd grade, so easy. Oh, good. Egypt unit, LOL. What, you're stuck in a sandstorm in Egypt and you're on my live? No, just kidding. All right. Well, friends, I know it's a shame that I'm not able to stick around very long. But the other thing is my daughter, Esther, she's, I guess you would call her 4.5. She's not quite 4 3/4, but in October she'll be 5. It'll be here before we know it. She's real smart for her age. But she has been a little sick. Like she had a cough one day and she's had like a runny, stuffy nose. But my thing is, what can you really give to a 4-year-old that has like a cough or a runny nose? You know what I mean? She didn't have a fever. So what would you guys suggest? What I did was I got Kleenexes that have like lotion and Vicks Vapor Rub like in the Kleenexes so that she's kind of clearing out her nose a little bit. Oh, your grandmother's sister was named Esther. That Esther is my favorite name. Esther's my favorite girl name, and Gabriel's my favorite boy name. So yeah, my kids are Esther, Victoria, Deborah, Faith, David, Joshua, and we lost a baby named Gabriel David. But yeah, my husband and I share in picking out our kids' names. So I named Esther, and he gave her middle name Victoria. He named Deborah, and I gave her middle name Faith. He named David, and I gave him his middle name Joshua. So yeah, we switch back and forth. Benadryl, that's what I do. It always works for Kaina. Oh, Benadryl. Benadryl. That works for like cough, just at bedtime though. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Thyme tea is also wonderful, and ginger tea will help with inflammation. Good information. I know that like at the pediatrician, they say as long as they're over like 2 years old or over at least 1 year old, that they can have a spoonful of honey if they have a cough. That doesn't really help with congestion. And when they're babies, I put them in the bathroom and run like hot water so the steam can help, help that congestion. But yeah, raw organic honey. Yeah, when I refer to honey, guys, please don't buy honey that is anything but just honey. There's a lot of honeys that say honey and they're actually like 50% high fructose corn syrup. Like, what's the point in buying that? Just buy the 100% honey. I get mine at Aldi. I don't know if you guys have Aldi, but Aldi is an awesome store. Their food is healthier, more natural. A lot of it comes from nearby farms and cheaper. But the 2 Aldis closest to me are both under construction. So the problem with that is I can't shop there. But the good thing about it is they're building them bigger. So they're going to come back bigger and better. So we're looking forward to that, but missing out on Aldi. I've saved hundreds of dollars on groceries by shopping at Aldi, for real. And then there's stuff like the regular honey on the shelf doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. The regular, cereal on the shelf doesn't have like food dyes in it. The regular like fruit snacks, they're made like with fruits and vegetables. They're not made with like fake food coloring. They're colored with stuff like beets, like actual vegetables and stuff. Not to say that they're not unhealthy because they're fruit snacks and they're made from high fructose corn syrup, but still, they make an effort to have things healthier and more natural at Aldi anyway. So the other thing is, I'm not sure if my daughter is experiencing seasonal allergies or if she has a cold. Orange juice. Yeah, orange juice. We've been eating oranges. Yeah, I should get some orange juice. That's a good idea. So, yeah. Oregano oil. Okay. It knocks out upper respiratory problems. Okay, good info. Hey, Danny, welcome back. I'm doing my live today early and short. I didn't want to disappoint and not do a live, and I wanted to keep you guys informed on what's going on with me, but we have a play date to get to. This is the only day of the week besides, well, Monday was nice weather half of the day, and then Tuesday and Thursday was storming. Tuesday and Wednesday was storming. Today's Thursday. It's gorgeous weather all day long. Literally no rain, not direct sunshine. It's cloudy it's a high of 75 and a low of 70. We can't not get out of the house today. And friends of ours invited us to the petting zoo. So we're getting out today. And then the next like 4 days or so, it's going to be thunderstorming. So we're just getting out today and then going to be stuck inside again. So yeah. Teacher Kelly's here. Hey, Teacher Kelly. To be honest with you, I mostly did the live for you guys, especially for Teacher Kelly, because I know she thinks it's a little bit depressing when there's no live. It's nice to connect to our coworkers and our friends, right? I'm glad you guys are okay. Yeah. So I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again because we have more friends here now. I live in Kansas City, and 8 years ago yesterday, Joplin, Missouri, which is like 3 hours from me, it just got flattened by a tornado. And now not Joplin itself, but the surrounding cities got hit by several tornadoes yesterday. And so we're talking about there's possibly like homes that were destroyed and possibly fatalities. There's also in Oklahoma, a lot of teachers lost power, and there were tornadoes there too. I'm receiving a text message. Just 1 second. Okay, cool. All right. So yes, GoGo Kid is now doing 24-hour bookings, or doing it soon. So that's interesting. But do they pay more for 24-hour bookings? I didn't see that they were going to pay any more, right? So, oh, how was my GoGo Kid class? My one GoGo Kid class was fine. I got a second booking, but because it was also with a mentor, I mentioned it in my first class and they canceled it because you only have one class with a mentor. And since I was so stressed out about that class and I didn't sleep well beforehand and I was so exhausted that day, I decided I don't want to do 5 a.m. classes because I was opening it up 5 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. for GoGo Kid and teaching from 6 to 9 with VIP Kid. Well, I decided that I'm just giving them my 5:30 a.m. slot so that if it doesn't book, I can close the slot and I can sleep in a little bit because I'm sort of trying to balance this whole like trying to be a good mom and a good teacher by not being totally exhausted, but trying to earn a good paycheck and you know, stay home with my kids. So there's this balance. And I've been cutting back a little bit to try to have a balance, have it evened out, because if I work too much, I'm totally exhausted and I'm not as good of a teacher or as good of a mom. You know what I mean? Because I'm so exhausted. And so I'm teaching a little bit less, sleeping in a little bit more to hopefully, you know, catch myself up. The other part of that is eating healthier and exercising more. But also exercising smart so that I don't injure myself. So for example, when I went to the zoo, I went with my regular plain old flat tennis shoes and my feet have been hurting for a couple of days. And so remember how I bought those arch support things? I left them in my classroom after showing you guys. So I haven't even opened them and used them yet, but today I'm going to use them for the first time. I'm going to make a review video about the experience with using the arch support in my shoes, and I will get back to you about that. So it's good to get exercise. It's no bueno. That's terrible Spanish. It's not good to injure yourself when exercising. And it's, I don't know if you guys have this dilemma, but the dilemma of thinking of fun new things to cook for your family that your kids will eat, thinking of like recipes that will be successful and groceries that will be cheap. And just that whole balance. And the funny thing is with little kids, like my kids are 1.5, 3, and 4.5. And if I give them chicken nuggets one day, they'll eat them great. But the next day, if I give them chicken nuggets, they won't eat them. So if I make like pizza rolls one day, the next day they won't eat pizza rolls. So they want variety. But it's kind of like they love, love, love strawberries. But if they ate strawberries yesterday, they're not going to eat strawberries today. It's just so like frustrating because it's just like they're at that age that they need a lot of variety. So I try to put like a lot of different things on their plate, like fruits, vegetable, protein, and main thing. But anyway, yes, every day, girl, there are a lot of YouTube videos about that for inspiration. Okay, very good. The other thing is, like, for me as an American, it's super easy for me to like make pasta, but like number one, pasta's not healthy. Number two, my pastas don't turn out that good. And number three, my husband doesn't like it. My kids don't really like it. So like I try to avoid pasta, even though when I was single, I used to make pasta all the time. You know, like hamburger helper type stuff. I really steer clear of that with my kids because it's frustrating for me if I work hard to like cook a meal and then nobody likes it. So, or if I can make like a big crock pot of something and if people don't eat it in my family, it ends up getting thrown out and I don't like wasting. We do. And so we try to avoid that, but sometimes I shouldn't make a full crock pot of something, right? If my kids aren't going to eat it all. Anyway, oh, I can relate. I love cabbage and I'm the only one in my household. Aw. The reason I haven't cooked cabbage is because the last time I had cabbage, I was breastfeeding my first child. So you can tell this was a while ago. And I ate a lot of it and it gave her the worst colic ever. She was screaming so bad all night long. So like I decided I'm not going to eat cabbage until I'm past breastfeeding and my kids are big enough that it won't totally upset their stomachs, you know. Yeah, it causes gas. So anyway, we try to eat healthy in this household, but I'm not going to say we don't eat processed foods because we do. We'll have like carrot sticks and apples and like chicken nuggets and cheese or something like that. I try to like keep it balanced, but my kids really like pizza. I don't like order pizza from Pizza Hut, but like sometimes we go to Pizza Street, which is like a pizza buffet. They have like a salad bar as well. So we eat some vegetables with it and then you get ice cream with your meal. It's super, super cheap for me to take my kids there. So that's the other balance is like staying on a budget and eating healthy and anyway, and not buying fast food. For the longest time, I didn't buy fast food, but lately I have been a little bit. And honestly, I think I've gained a little bit of weight because of it. So we need to cut that out because budget-wise and health-wise, just fast food is not good for you. I know that the fast food industry wants us to believe that, I'm getting on a soapbox and I can't even talk that long. The fast food industry wants us to think that their food is cheap, but it's actually not. Because like you can make tacos at home. You can like cook up the ground beef and cut up the vegetables and it's going to be a whole lot cheaper at home than it's going to be at Taco Bell. You know what I mean? Yeah, it isn't cheap at all. You can get some ground turkey instead of ground beef like I do. Ground turkey and make some hamburgers and it's going to be way cheaper and way healthier than going to a fast food restaurant. And anyway, the living conditions of the animals for McDonald's and all that is just not cool. But anyway, that's a whole soapbox I shouldn't have gotten on. But so I'm a hypocrite because I sometimes buy Burger King or Taco Bell, which is not a good idea. It's just sometimes it's really yummy, guys. Sorry. Okay, anyway, moving on. $30 for us to eat crappy Sonic for 4 people. Yeah, that's why we grow food, especially in the summer. That's awesome. I have this like dream idea that when my kids are a little bit older, I want to have like a garden with blueberry plants, and Danny's got me wanting some strawberry plants too, and carrots and some tulips. But I want my kids to be the age where they can have that as their chore, like go water the plants, go pick some fruits and vegetables out there. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be like all on me and like adding to my stress. I want it to be something that they can learn together. Hello. So yeah. Anyway, you totally can. There are really cheap ways. Yeah. So have you seen the prices at grocery stores lately? Yeah. Depends on the grocery store, because I don't know about you guys. Okay, so I have a creative brain. So in my brain, when I go to the grocery store, I'm like, okay, either that's a good deal on strawberries, or I know a different store that's going to be cheaper. Like I remember the prices of certain things. I'll be like, okay, strawberries are $3 at Sunfresh, but they're $1.50 at Aldi. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I'll go to Aldi first and I'll get the things that I can get cheaper there, because the thing with Aldi is it's cheaper, but they don't have everything. It's a smaller store. So get the things you can get cheaper there, and then go to a different store where you can get the other things that you need. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. So my husband and I both have seasonal allergies. So my daughter having a cold right now, it a little bit makes me suspect that it could be allergies. But it's starting to seem like it's a cold. 1 second. Sorry. So this is how often I take medicine. I check to see the expiration date on my Walgreens brand Claritin. It expired in 2014. I haven't taken it since it expired, guys. I haven't taken allergy medicine in 5 years, and I get bad allergies. But the thing is, in those years, I was either pregnant or breastfeeding, or pregnant and breastfeeding. And so I'm not going to take Claritin when I'm pregnant or breastfeeding, which right now I'm technically breastfeeding, but he's a bigger boy, so I might take a little Claritin. But that makes me not want to buy a whole bottle. You know what I mean? What I use for eye drops, this works really well. My husband and I both have our own little vial of this stuff. And so anyway, my brain figuring out where things are cheaper. I bought this at Walmart because it was buy one, get one 50%. Walmart, not Walmart, Walgreens, because it was buy one, get one 50% off. So if you can do stuff like that, like remember, like at Walgreens, it's cheaper to buy the eye drops, but don't buy the children's daily vitamin at Walgreens because it's like $5 cheaper at Walmart for the off-brand. So you have to like, you don't have to, but I keep in my mind like what store I need to go to buy which things. And like also in my brain is like filed like which order of stores we should go to. We should go to Aldi first because it's where everything's the cheapest. And for anything that's like anything at all that's possible to get at Dollar Tree for several dollars cheaper. A lot of times it's not food items. Honestly, guys, Dollar Tree is not a good place for food, but it's a good place for like office supplies or stuff like shampoo and soap, like, and deodorant. You can get it like way cheaper. Let me show you. For example, this is $1 at Dollar Tree, and it's just a slightly taller one, just a tiny bit bigger, for like $4 at Walmart. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, you gotta be smart as to where to go. Anyway, check into oregano oil. Where does one find oregano oil? How does one use oregano oil? Do you put it under your nose? Do you put a drop in tea? Do you mix it with something? Do you put a drop on your tongue? How do you use oregano oil? Will my daughter be mad at me for using it? So yeah, oregano oil. Let me write it down. I mean, I could look that up online, but you guys could tell me to. Oregano oil. My husband was looking up the information about, I don't know if I want to talk about this. There's a park within walking distance from my home that we used to take my kids to. Funny story, when we moved into this house, I wanted a house that was walking distance from a grocery store and a park, so that if our car ever broke down, we could walk to the grocery store or walk to the park. Now, knowing the area that I live in, and I'm not being stuck up by saying this, I would never take my kids to that park ever again. Sorry, guys. And I really avoid that grocery store at all costs. I only ever went to that grocery store when my husband was working security there, but he doesn't work there anymore. So anyway, over a year ago, no, this was before my son was born. No, it was just after my son was born. So a year and a half ago, 2 gang members were shot and murdered in the parking lot of the community center park near where I live. And my husband looked up and found the Facebook of the guy who's in jail for murdering them. And he was reading me some of the posts. I don't know if I even want to go into this, but basically that guy, to me, it seems obvious that he's covering up for a fellow gang members, because he's saying his story's not adding up. He got shot in the leg, yet he drove away from the scene. He said he was sitting in the back seat, but he said he acted alone. He definitely had other people in the car, and he's covering for them. So this was definitely a gang violence, like either a drug deal gone wrong or like 2 different gangs like shooting at each other or whatever. So anyway, these 2 brothers, they're Hispanic, they got killed, but they were definitely in a gang. And this one guy is in jail for it. And he's saying he acted alone because he got shot in the leg or whatever. But I think that he's covering up. I think there was probably at least like 3 people in his car, you know. Anyway, sorry. I just think like there's bad people in the world, and some of them live on my street, guys. Hopefully those people don't live on my street. But the crazy thing is, our neighbors' kids were playing in the park when this happened, and a church youth group was having a basketball game inside of the community center when this happened. And these drug dealers or gangsters or whatever, they just think they can like have their war in the middle of the parking lot where there's innocent bystanders around. It's just, anyway. So all that to say, that's why I haven't started a garden yet. Because my husband and I, even though we're paying a mortgage here, we don't feel like this is our forever home. We're kind of paying off what we can. We have a really cheap deal on our mortgage here. We have a really nice house. So like this house in a nicer area would be like way out of our price range. But we have a really nice house in a somewhat not so great neighborhood. So we get it for a good price, but my husband has his eyes set on moving somewhere safer, and I agree with him, but moving is a big ordeal, and finding a good house for a good price is a big ordeal too. So anyway, all that to say, in our forever home, I would like to start a garden and have maybe even have two separate, one for fruits and vegetables and one for watermelons too. Oh yeah. So one for tulips, because I really like tulips. If you plant the bulbs, at least in my area, they come up every spring and they're so gorgeous. And but maybe not too close to the house so it doesn't attract bumblebees to the house. I don't want to kill bumblebees, but I don't want my kids to get stung either. So anyway, start out small with potted herb plants inside. I have a 1.5-year-old who's a tornado. Like I said, my kids need to be a little bit older. They just, nothing is safe around him. And I'm not good with plants. So, but I grew up going to Arkansas. I'm going to have to get going soon. But my dad lives in Arkansas, and he had sort of a wannabe farm in the country. And my favorite thing to pick was blueberries. So I would love to have some blueberry plants. My kids love carrots. We love carrots, so I'd love to have some carrot plants, and strawberries and watermelons would be nice. But yeah. Yes, tulips. Kim, if you could keep an aloe super easy, just don't overwater it. That aloe plants in Texas, it's amazing that it's such an amazing plant. It's really good for your skin and hair and everything. But if you have a sunburn, aloe is really good. But in the South, southern Texas, where I've lived for language school, and I lived there the year that my first daughter was born, the aloe plants are like weeds down there. They grow everywhere. They grow really easily in that climate. But I don't know that they would grow here. They probably wouldn't thrive here. I've seen them in small plants, small versions of them, but they're huge in Texas. Anyway. You can eat aloe too, and it's great for fighting cancer. And it will help you if you're constipated. So don't have too much, in other words. Very good. Wow, we're having a neat little conversation in the chat box. Well, guys, I've got to get my kids ready to get going and pack some lunches to go to the Deanna Rose Farmstead. It's a petting zoo. All right, guys. Bye. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye. Thank you.